Manchester United have sacked Erik ten Hag after a series of poor results. The seemingly long rope that the Dutchman had been enjoying cut. And at the middle of the season, that too. The decision came after United's 1-2 loss to West Ham at the London Stadium. Now, the defeat meant the club dropped down further to the 14th position in the points table at the Premier League. Club legend and assistant manager Ruud van Nistelrooy will take over the duties in an interim basis. And given the stature of United, several big names have already been linked to this job. But before we go there, let's talk about what led to Ten Hag's sacking in the first place. Did the fans play a bit of a role in it? Many felt a sacking was around the corner.
Yeah, I think it was time, to be honest. I do feel for him a little bit, but performances just haven't been good enough.
I'm very glad that he's been sacked because we've been performing below par for a lengthy of time, and I think it's about time that we need like fresh energy, a new perspective, and new ideas.
Now, given how United was performing throughout the season, it was always going to be the case of when and not if. With every loss or every draw, Ten Hag was inching closer to losing that job, though mid-season is pretty sudden even for a club like Manchester United. It's true that a club steeped in legacy with all its investments and a massive fan base would want nothing less than a top 3 finish. But in Ten Hag's era, United's fortunes have swung the other way. The club is competing for a bottom 3 finish. They are closer to the relegation zone than to a top 3 finish. But the important point to note is what Ten Hag kept saying despite the horrible slump Man United were continuously finding themselves in. He was defiant and believed that the United management had his back, that it was a process that they were working on. After every loss, every draw, Ten Hag stayed obstinate and confident about his methods and his place in the club, which made many believe that the United management would back the Dutchman at least till the end of this season. Because even after the West Ham defeat, Ten Hag blamed VAR rather than his own approach or his team.
In football, the best team does not always win. That was clear and obvious, but the way VAR worked was not clear and obvious. What they didn't do against Spurs when they should have interfered on Bruno's red card, and now they make the wrong decision interfering, both have a big impact on the games. I don't criticize any person. I criticize the process.
Now, I understand a manager considering his team the greatest. But during the Manchester United and West Ham match, United clearly weren't the better team. Even if Ten Hag thought so. They missed chances they created but failed to score from. If they have anyone to blame for this loss, it is themselves. To think that just a game ago in Europa League, the very same Erik ten Hag was boasting of having secured a draw against Fenerbahce.
From 2 tough away games, Porto and Fenerbahce, we take 2 points, which is a result. We have good players, we have a good manager, so it's never easy, but we take a point, and when you take a point, as I said, and in Porto and in Fenerbahce, that's not bad.
Clearly, Ten Hag failed to realize that this club doesn't thrive on draws or securing 1 point. This is a club that wants to win trophies, wants to build on a legacy that has been established for decades. And given how Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester City are staying unbeaten in the past 3 seasons, for United to put up a fight for the title, they have to win every match, maybe draw a few. But with Ten Hag at the helm, it was draw more and win less. Maybe the management wanted to give Ten Hag a few chances, but the anger towards Ten Hag was rising and the club probably had to act fast, because up until the West Ham game, it did not look like the sacking was around the corner. A big decision like this always comes with a bit of a hint, as was with the case of Ralf Rangnick Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and even Jose Mourinho. There was always an indication that these guys were going to be shown the door. But with Ten Hag, it was all too sudden. And going by the chatter that we are hearing, it is believed that Ten Hag was quite calm through it all, in the sense that the sacking was very smooth, no bad blood between the management and Ten Hag supposedly. Maybe the West Ham game was the last nail in the coffin. So what next then for Manchester United? Given Ruud van Nistelrooy is leading United, will he be a permanent face? Because even before Ten Hag was sacked, Ruud van Nistelrooy was reportedly hesitant of stepping into a role of Manchester United's permanent manager. So needless to say, many big names have been floated around the club. The biggest ones doing the rounds are Gareth Southgate, yes, who recently managed England. The second is that of former Chelsea boss Graham Potter. The current Inter Milan manager Simone Inzaghi and out-of-job Harvey are some of the names that round off. But the strongest contender of all this seems to be Ruben Amorim, who is currently the head coach of Sporting. With a win percentage of 71%, Amorim is heavily linked to taking up this role. Reports also suggest that Amorim is in discussion with United's top brasses already. And let's face it, he comes with a reputation. Before United, the same manager was favoured to replace Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool's manager in the summer. And how can we forget the time when Sporting's biggest transfer move to United happened? It was in 2003 and was the biggest talking point in United's history. That was Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, who won everything at United after moving over. Maybe with this managerial move, the United management is hoping for a similar revival.
First Post decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained, every Monday and Thursday only on First Post.